Thanks, Goose. Guys, over the years, we've done 3 different reviews of Minecraft because the game's always changing and evolving, isn't it?
Yeah, so rather than just do another review, we thought we'd maybe do a bit of a comparison of all the different versions that are out there and take a look at some of the game's new features. Let's start with the PC version.
It would take quite a while to list all the minor changes that have been made to the game, but the developers have certainly been busy, and there have been some pretty big additions.
They sure have, Darren, and I think we can all agree that the biggest addition is cats.
Aw, kitties!
But Hex, Bajo, there have been so many more interesting additions than just cats. One of my favourite additions is the ability to now trade items with villagers.
That's all great, Darren, but cats, Darren, cats!
But what about the more complex redstone mechanisms you could create now? And all those new biomes and blocks and mobs? And fireworks! Or what about those terrifying zombie sieges? Or the dreaded wither? And of course, there's horses now. Giddy up, horsey! Oh, they're so much more useful than those felines of yours.
Well, no, it means I can just ride a pony while I have my army of cats around me. Perfect! Of course, the PC version still has the added benefit of fully supporting user-made mods, which the console and mobile versions don't.
The word mod is short for modification, which are downloadable add-ons that can change the game in both minor and major ways. There's mods that do almost anything, from overhauling the graphics engine to completely changing the game.
And some of those mods are fantastic for multiplayer. Some people almost exclusively play things like the Hunger Games or Tekkit mods. But anyway, let's take a look at the console versions.
While these versions are still missing some of the more recent PC features, they at least have most of the major additions. For example, you can now go to the End and fight the Ender Dragon, and you can also find villagers and trade with the villagers.
Another thing I was happy to see is, to make up for the lack of mods, is they have some pretty cool Mashup Packs. These are essentially mini expansion packs that come with new textures, music, skins, and entire pre-built worlds based on other games or franchises such as Halo.
Although we should mention they're only available for the Xbox versions at the moment. You can still get some new skins and texture packs for the PlayStation versions, but not the full-on mashups. Also, all these packs cost real money to buy, while similar mods are all freely available on the PC.
But the console version does have one big major advantage: you can play split-screen multiplayer. Playing with up to 3 others right next to you and not having to worry about going online is a pretty big deal for some.
Well, personally, I just love the simplified crafting system. You simply select what you want to build, and as long as you have the right items, you can build it. It's way more user-friendly than the PC version, where you have to figure out everything for yourself.
The tutorial definitely helps ease players in too. It's just a much more approachable experience, while the PC version is probably more for advanced Minecraft players, or those willing to take the time to learn things for themselves.
There are also new versions of the game for the Xbox One and PS4, which are essentially the same as what was on last gen, with a few little differences. Perhaps most importantly is the world size is now much bigger.
36 times bigger to be precise, X. The previous worlds were limited to being a paltry 862 blocks squared, but can now stretch for thousands and thousands of blocks. However, they still pale in comparison to the near infinite worlds of the PC version.
They're not really infinite worlds though, are they, Darren?
Well, no, they're only approximately 4,096 million square kilometres, which is equivalent to about 8 times the surface area of the Earth.
Yeah, I think that's infinite enough for most people. But anyway, the other small but welcome improvement is the draw distance is now much longer, so you can see out further. It may seem like a minor detail, but it helps the world feel more epic and expansive.
But we should talk about the portable versions, Darren. How about starting with the Vita?
Oh, of course. The Vita version is essentially the same as the PS3 version in terms of features. One excellent addition, however, is the ability to swap your saves between your home console and the Vita. So you can play on your world whether you're at home or on the go without losing any progress.
Yeah, it's a pretty good feature, and I think it makes the Vita the best handheld version available.
Yeah, and one thing to remember too with the Pocket version is it's probably the least fleshed out of all the versions at the moment. It doesn't have quite a few of the major features like a hunger bar, trading, redstone wiring, other dimensions, bosses, or the end. Still, you get the same great core Minecraft experience to take with you in your pocket, which is definitely a big advantage.
The developers have stated that they eventually intend to make the Pocket Edition largely equivalent to the PC version, so no doubt those missing features will come with time.
And that's the great thing about Minecraft. No matter where you play it, it's always an evolving and changing experience with new features just around the corner.
Yeah, it's exciting to watch both players and developers literally shape the world of Minecraft into new and exciting things. I can't wait to see what comes next.
Speaking of players building stuff, now it's time for Goose's report from a huge Minecraft build-a-thon. Roll the tape, Carrie!